This is the centre for Julian of Norwich, who was a medieval mystic and anchoress who lived in Norwich a long time ago, 1342 to 1429. Now, she's important for being an anchoress, which means that you live a religious life and live in a small cell at the side of St Julian's Church. Now, she went into the cell because she believed that God had spoken to her and given her 16 visions. When she was a young girl, she actually wished for many things to happen to her, that she would suffer while she was still young, that she would be transported back in time to be at the foot of the cross for the crucifixion. And when she's about 30, it happens. I suppose we'd call it a near-death experience that she has, during which time she has 16 visions of the crucifixion, of heaven, and has given some really very famous sayings. She was told, for example, that all shall be well and all manner of things shall be well. And she was also taken to the bottom of the ocean and shown that even if you're at the bottom of the sea, if you're with God, you will be safe. So she lived in the small cell for, we think, up to about 60 years. She was probably walled in, having had the service of last rites when she went into the cell, and she stayed there counselling through a small wall, a window in the wall. There would have been another window that went to the main church so she could see services, and her maid would have looked after her everyday needs from the other window. And while she was there, she actually wrote the book of Revelations of Divine Love, where she actually wrote down what it was that she believed God had shown her, so that that would be a message for the world later on. She's still very popular, having a revival really in today's world, because many of the issues that she talked about and worried about are still very relevant today. Certainly she talked about not to worry, not to feel guilty about things that you do. She also said that God was both male and female, so interesting, controversial things even in today's world. So a very, very famous lady. What we do know about her is very little. We think she may have been married, but we're not sure. When we come across her, her mother is with her, but no children or no husband, although she does actually write as if she was a mother at some time, and many people refer to her as Mother Julian. It's possible that she lost her children to the plague. She survived 3 times of plague. Maybe she got immunity, a bit like getting flu when you were younger. There was also the 100 Years' War going on at that time, during which her husband may have died overseas. We know very little about her personal life. Her name as well, probably taken from the actual name of the church, St Julian's. Highly unlikely that was her name. Like a nun taking religious orders, you often changed your name as an anchoress. It's also possible that she was Juliana, actually linked to the cathedral, and Thomas Erpingham's sister. There are all sorts of ideas of who she might have been, but nobody's actually sure. Certainly what she said at the end of her book was, "Don't remember me for who I am, but remember me for what I said." And her basic message was that God is love and that all shall be well, and that we should really forgive ourselves and not beat ourselves up and feel guilty all the time, which I think many people do today.